Hello and welcome to another edition of BCR Webcasting. Next month we will have our third MENA Supply Chain Finance Conference, which will take place on the 5th and 6th of November at the Westin Hotel in Dubai. And one of the sessions that we'll have at that conference is on digital transformation, from narrative to action. And it's a very topical subject, of course. Digital transformation has been in many of our conferences in the past, but it's a developing and moving position. So I'm very happy to have with me today Saloi Benbaha, who is Head of Enterprise Alliance and Ventures at XDC Network, and Head of Institutional Partnerships and Working Group Committee at TradeFinX. And Saloi will be on that panel talking about digital transformation.
Thank you, Michael.
Welcome, Saloi.
Thank you.
So, Saloi, this is a big and wide subject, but obviously we're focusing on MENA at the moment. So what particular challenges are there in the MENA region in terms of adopting digitalization technology? I mean, is it a question of regulatory frameworks or, the process of adoption or something else? Where are we in this journey at the moment in the MENA region?
Let's start by redefining a little bit just, what is MLETR? It's the UNICETRO Model Law on Electronic Transferable Records from 2017. And this gives a framework and a guideline to make these digital documents accepted legally. So it's been a very important piece of legislation. At the moment, worldwide, very few people have actually passed this into law. And we've seen like some of the pioneers were ADGM, for instance, and Bahrain in the region, who actually understood very early on the benefits.
So just to be clear, Saloi, you're basically saying that MENA is central to the whole process of trade.
Completely, because to be able to say that these documents have a legal face value and that they are accepted by customs, by banks and so on, they needed to be validated so that there is no discrimination, that that piece of electronic documents is actually recognized.
Okay. So this is more about trade digitalization rather than trade digitization.
Yeah.
So people may not be familiar with the differences between the two.
Yes.
So my understanding is with digitization, that is transforming a physical document into a digitized document, but digitalization is all about the processes and
yes.
the sort of wider field of transforming
yes.
into a digitized processes and format, and having an organization being much more digitized. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so sorry I interrupted you. Carry on.
That's fine. So what we're saying is there's few countries. So you have Bahrain, Belize, France from this year. They voted it into law. Kiribati, Papua New Guinea, Paraguay, and Singapore, Timor-Leste, the UAE with Abu Dhabi Global Market, and the UK and Northern Ireland. So you can see that among these countries, the largest ones, like the UK in terms of trade, Singapore or the UAE, and now France, there is still a long way to go, but it's there. The process is worked on, and when it comes to the GCC region, being myself in the UAE, it's pretty great to have ADGM, working on these things. So in order for these documents, to be accepted, back in 2001, they did a pilot project, ADGM with Singapore, INDA authority, and
sorry, in 2001, did you say?
2021.
Oh, 21. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, 2021. So they've done a pilot project, which was the initial phase to show that this can be done and how efficient this is. So this whole process was integrated with Trade Trust. So Trade Trust allows is an interoperable framework that provides proof of authenticity, origin and ownership of digital document used in trade finance. So it enables, the trading counterpart and the transacting banks to validate document digitally and securely, even when they're on different finance platforms. So this was a big step. So ourselves, with XDC Trade Network, we are integrated with Trade Trust, and we've carried on as well some POCs between Malaysia and Singapore, between India and Dubai, and so on. And we now, in the region, I think we are some of the ones doing a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so but what still needs to be done to get?
Okay, so what needs to be done? I think first of all, interoperability. A lot of the platform or the softwares are not designed from the start to be interoperable with other systems, and also. I think there is a need for education. A lot of the financial directors, compliance directors, risk directors, they don't see the immediate need to move, into this, because they want to take the time to assess, this big step. Because when you have a company taking everything, for instance, on chain or digital, has ramifications and implications. Mm-hmm. So people are very careful because they have their database, they have their data, clients' information. So I think when I go to events, sometimes the key people are missing. These are the people that needs to be there to understand how it's done and how secure the systems are, and to participate in the discussion. When it comes to regulation, I think the regulation is there. We already have the MELETR, framework, and some countries have started moving on. So the challenges, for instance, that these countries have met so far to scale is why should companies are asking, why shall I do it? So they don't understand the benefits. So the benefit is going to be gain of time, reduce cost by having, you don't have to ship via DHL, all of these documents. You can use these documents to raise liquidity because they are, they have a value, legal value. And so I think that this has to do with a lot of educating. People need to understand, especially MSMEs. Some of them with very small resources need, to have access to the information. So I feel like this information has been out there, but in the higher sphere, but it's not gone downstream enough for people to say, let's do, I want to do it. So I see that when we do we've done the POCs, some tech-savvy companies want to do it, like doing invoice factoring or invoice discounting, but some others are concerned about, different things they don't understand. So yeah.
So do you think enough is being done in terms of education and changing people's mindsets and getting them to understand the benefits of this? I mean, who's responsible for doing that?
Well, this is the thing. I think there needs to be maybe more communication on budget. And this, I think, needs to come from governments, because from what I've seen, institutions like the ICC or Paris Europlace in France and so on have done a lot of work, but a lot of it didn't have the financial backup. It was because people were willing to move things. So I think there needs to be maybe more investments, information, and providing easy access to these solutions, because a lot of these MSMEs will assume that you need, for instance, to buy a license to an expensive software, whilst actually you can just go online, create your document, mint it, and then you can share the access to it to the people you want. So yeah.
I mean, just to briefly tell us a little bit more about the technologies that are coming into play now to take advantage of MLETR adoption and to start using this for in trade.
So in terms of technology, for instance, from our side, we've done something that is following the DSI ICC standard, because this is another thing. You need a standard across countries. You need a norm, one format of documents that can be accepted ideally everywhere, because if every country has different rules, when you take these documents to a different place, then it's very complicated to have this interoperability. Whilst if you create a standard and you stick to it, I think it makes things easier. So in Singapore, Pamela Marr with the DSI ICC, they've created a standard. And that's what we're following from our side to create those electronic documents. So these documents then can be verified on Trade Trust and can be used by different counterparties. Yeah.
Well, Saloi, we will be exploring all these issues in more depth next month. Just remind everybody again, it's our third MENA Supply Chain Finance Conference, which will take place on the 5th and 6th of November at the Westin Hotel in Dubai. And Saloi, we'll look forward to seeing you again there with your fellow panelists and hearing more about this interesting topic of digitalization and how it's progressing through the region.
Looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, thank you once again for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.